Where did he say he'd gone?
Crossman's Foundry, he said. The chap that married Cassie Dent, you know.
What's he gone there for?
Didn't say. He was on his way out when we came.
You'd no chance to ask him, then?
We'll be back before dinner. What's the rush?
We should ask him about that land.
He's not going to sell 10 acres before dinner time, Dad.
You better bloody hadn't.
So what was all that about?
That bit of land is Sam's. There's a firm that wants to set up a factory here. They came through council looking for land. They'd a promise of Arthur Corby's, but it's no use to them without Sam's because of access. We're trying to get them interested in another site, but they've come back and said it won't do.
So what's gathering a sweat for?
It means work, doesn't it?
Always to be hoped those two get on when we move in here and Sam goes to live with your dad.
He'll be back to sea before long, will Sam?
Has he said that to you?
There's nothing to keep him, is there?
Oh, I think they're trying to pick Sam's brains.
That'll give him a lift. He doesn't think he's got any.
Rubbish. They all think they're undiscovered geniuses, men. And her granny does. You should see him in front of the mirror when he doesn't think I'm there.
Admiring his genius?
Just wondering if it shows.
That reminds me, I'll go and see to my Ben. I'll call for you on Sunday.
Yes, okay.
Bye, Cassie. Bye.
She asked me why they were down at the foundry with Sam.
What did you say?
I changed the subject.
It's embarrassing, isn't it?
For Granny, mostly. He's Arthur's accountant.
What's happening on Sunday?
Oh, she just comes round. To get away from Arthur, I suppose. Granny's getting a bit fed up of it. Keeps asking me when she's going back to Germany.
To David? Will she, do you think?
I don't know. I don't like to ask. I have a feeling she won't.
Does she see much of Sam?
Who told you that?
You did.
Well, it's no secret then, is it? I don't think she can have done lately, otherwise she wouldn't come round to see us so much.
I can't say they've got much in common.
With David. Sam met him when he was in Germany. You don't know him, do you? He's supposed to have a massive IQ. They live in one room in Cologne. Well, at least she does. He lives in his head, she says. He's not there when he is there, if you know what I mean.
What do you mean when you said they got David in common?
He's the working class lad who got on. I don't suppose he means to, but I think he makes them both feel a bit inferior. It's sad, isn't it, the way life divides us up? The beautiful and the ugly, the clever and the stupid, fat and thin, rich and poor. Maybe it's the lucky ones who are in the middle.
Don't want any Irish pennies, neither.
If I've any Irish pennies, they've been given me.
Don't give them to me.
Well, that's it.
Just about.
Ah, then, George. Now, George. Now, Sam. When's he going back, then?
What, sick of the sight of me, are you?
Aye. Nay, go on with you. It's a blooming long holiday you're having, though.
Did a long stint, didn't I? 3 years on the ocean wave.
Jam.
Compared to Pitt, you mean?
One long bloody battle down Pitt these days. But only owners to contend with in old days. Now we're fighting national bloody coal, and unions as well.
Whole industry belongs to people now, George. We wanted it, and we've got it. Hey, Dave. The only problem is, unions haven't sorted out what you are yet. A worker or an owner.
Who pays their bloody wages?
You do.
Well, then.
Aye. It's a problem, George.
No.
They're like a pack of bloody women. Oh, there's so much else to know. Whose side are they on, eh? Eh? Whose side are they on, eh?
You better ask Ethel.
I know whose side she's on, I do. And it's not mine, I can tell you.
Shall we ask Sam, then?
No, not in here. we'll see him back home. Not sooner it was anybody but him involved. Bloody land with Toby Wilson to thank for that.
Sam will be glad to see back of it. He's wanted for a factory to bring work. He'll be as keen as we are.
Will he? What's this place to him?
He wanted to give it you one time, that land.
Corby will make a fine old profit out of that of his. We shall be the means to it. It's enough to bring tears to your eyes.
I could do to make a profit from what I've heard. There's no more than half a dozen lads in that factory of his. Well, there used to be 20 or more.
Land. What are you going to do about it, eh? When you get into that Parliament, what are you going to do about it?
I'm only on the short list. I'm not past selection committee yet. I've a 10-minute speech to make on Friday. See if my face fits.
It'll fit. You'll be there. Remember when I wanted you to get away from here?
Sorry I didn't.
Not now, I'm not. There'll be nobody else but me left here afore long. They're all leaving that can. They no sooner get the schooling done and feel the wings than they're off down south or off to bloody sea.
Didn't you want Sam to go, then?
There's work for fitters and such within striking distance of here. It's them poor sods that can do naught but swing a prick that cure the labour. It's work for him. What's he want to go to sea for?
Ask him.
Hey, I'll not ask him. I'll not ask. He can do as he pleases for me. I'll not ask.
Sam's only got two choices. To sell the land to you, or to these people Corby's been dealing with. You need it to expand. Well, Arthur, he needs it to keep his head above water.
What's the problem, then? I mean, the basis on which you'll decide. The same?
The kind of labour, as I said, yes.
Work for men from the pits?
Yes.
There'll not be much of that.
Well, exactly. And that's where these people that Corby knows have the advantage. They'll offer unskilled work and pretty well paid.
You've not heard from the ministry yet?
No, you see.
Did you tell Sam about that?
I did, yes. He said ministries have never done much for miners, which is... Of course, there'll be some from the pits who'll benefit, fitters and so on.
And there's that new pressure die-casting machine from the States. Semi-skilled labour. Mind you, you need a special dollar import permit.
Yards of red tape there, miles of it.
And a stack full of union problems at the end of it. No, we'll have to wait to see what the ministry says. It'd be a stink if it turned our way and the reason leaked out here, wouldn't it?
Well, I think that's what worries Sam. And you can see the government's problem from a national point of view.
Oh, yeah. I voted for them in '45.
Well, me too.
It's been a good government. World War, social revolution in one decade. It's a lot to have lived through.
Had enough?
Oh, I don't know. Where's the next lot going to come from? These are worn out giants. Bevan, Little Clem Attlee, Cripps, Morrison, Nye Bevan. My God. We're going to miss them when they've gone.
Jessie's just called for you over the fence. Your lunch is ready.
Right. Thank you, Cass. I'll have a look at the deeds of the land tonight. But from your point of view, it's on, though, yes? Sam willing.
It's buy one or bust, isn't it?
I don't think my dad should act for Sam. But I'll think it over. Bye, Peter.
All right, see you, Morris.
Bye, Cassie.
Bye.
Kids still asleep?
Yeah. We'll have a quiet meal if the oven hurries up. What's his business with Sam?
Oh, he owns some land that we need.
You told me about the land. You didn't say why.
Well, Stainforths in Warwickshire are closing down.
Stainforths?
Yeah. They make the engines that we cast the rocks for. In fact, half the castings we make go to Stainforths.
Isn't there anybody else you could sell them to?
No.
What are you grinning at?
You, straight to the point.
Well, if I ask silly questions, it's because you don't talk to me about things. I didn't even know Stainforths are.
Well, does it matter?
Why do you want Sam's land?
Well, if we can get the land and build an assembly plant, we can get the manufacturing rights of the engine from Stainforths and make the lot. Providing, of course, we can raise the capital.
And will Sam sell?
I hope he will. My God, I do.
Sam? Barnacle?
Arthur, check up you.
Nay, I'll not thrust myself on you.
Shut up and sit down.
He's cheeky, you know. Who brought him up?
You know damn well who brought him up.
Sam again here.
Sam says you're to have no more.
What's he got to do with him?
He's paid for most of them.
Did I ask him to?
No?
And what's he got to do with him?
Note, if you pay for your own.
Festival of Britain here, eh? Fun, fantasy and colour, they say. Anyway, you seen the Skyline? Oh, of course, you've got to go down to London to see it. I've seen it. It's interesting. Worth a visit if you can get to see it. No bad. Dome of Discovery. Very good. They've got a bit of a pit there. You can stand up straight and watch two blokes cut a 2-foot seam.
Well, I'm up.
Aye, I'll be with you.
Another point of interest.
Ain't any short, George. Oh, come on, that's me profit. 1 halfpenny.
Profit. Only profit. That's what's ruining this company. Profit.
Well, according to Gateskill, we're not making enough profit. That's even got through to me, and I'm supposed to be stupid.
Brewers have always made a profit, brewers have.
Thanks to buggers like you.
Take him home, Jack is right for it.
Show me a boozer that never made a profit.
Look in bloody mirror.
Home, George.
Come round anymore. I'm asking about you today. You're welcome, you know.
She's married, Arthur.
It's rubbish.
I met him in Germany. I liked him.
No counting for tastes. I'd like to have a word.
Aye, all right.
Back on the beer again, I see.
You get more in your glass for a tanner.
Well, come round home.
Yes, Arthur. I'll come, aye. Later, eh? I have to go home right now. I'll come later.
Don't want any bloody pity, you know. Not asking you to be sorry for me.
Sorry for you.
You think I'm going down the drain with a dishwater, don't you?
I'm not going in there to that.
Move your legs. Don't be a flaming donkey.
I'm done with it.
What's he on about?
Enough. Oh, Lord. Enough.
He's gone off his jump.
Let's get him into Sam's.
How about some dinner, then? I'm late, aren't I? You're mad at me, aren't you?
There's one more today. David's come back.
Oh, bang goes my bloody appetite. Now, where is he? What's he come for?
Oh, please try to be reasonable, Dad. His father's ill.
Oh, Arthur.
Oh, Sam, I didn't hear you come in. George is asleep on your bed.
Oh, he got bruised up at Cow.
They shoved him up there because he wouldn't go home to Ethel.
Been rowing, have they?
I don't know. She says he's gone a bit queer lately. Keeps writing on bits of paper.
Like what?
She doesn't know. He throws them away when he's done.
Happen he's dropped on a new system for the pools.
There's no rush with those cupboards, you know. We don't move in till Friday.
Nay, I'll get 'em emptied.
I hope you're doing the right thing.
What?
Moving in with your granddad. Suppose you don't get on.
We can always get a divorce. Just think what lovely reunions we'll have when I come home on leave.
Oh, Frank wants to talk to you.
What about?
About paying for this house.
Now, look, we've been through all that before.
Sam, we want to pay. We can afford it.
And I can afford not to take it.
We want to pay, Sam.
Am I not allowed to pay me debts off?
What debts? You don't have any debts with us.
Don't forget what's been done for me, you know, Eileen.
Well, when? By who?
But you two, when I was a lad, both of you.
Oh, rubbish to that. Anyway, you might need that money someday.
When I get wed, you mean, on my 100th birthday?
Want to bet on it?
I can work, you know, Eileen. I'm not bloody useless. I've got 2 hands.
You might marry a lass with expensive tastes.
Well, she'll have to love me for what I am, then.
Well, it wouldn't be impossible. Difficult, mind, but not impossible.
Forgiven me, have you? For Alan. For all the years I went on at him.
Yes, I've forgiven you.
I shall not forgive myself, happen.
Started when you were a lad. Not your fault, really, the way things were.
Aye. Happen.
So you'll take that money from Frank and Rita.
You're a crafty one, aren't you?
Oh.
Sam?
Hello.
Is he afloat yet?
Oh, dead to the world. But I can't wait. I'll just go and have to work round him.
That'll be a tight squeeze.
We'd like a word with you, Sam.
You're too late. It's settled. Eileen just told me.
Told you what?
You want to pay for the house.
No, it's not the house. It's about that land of yours. We've had word from that firm that wants to set up a factory here. They'll buy Arthur Corby's land, provided they can get yours.
I thought they were looking elsewhere. Well, you told me you got them interested in the piece somewhere else.
It'll not suit him, so they say. There's drainage problems.
Well, we're going to wait till after council meeting, but there's 1 or 2 things we need to know.
Like, if it's still up for sale, you mean?
Well, why wouldn't it be?
Well, you told me you put them off it. Up and I've sold it to somebody else.
Sold it?
Well, I've promised it then.
Who to?
Well, like this other lot with you, I can't say.
You know what it's wanted for, don't you? To make work round here.
Who cares about work except you and a few others like?
Who cares? Who cares? You don't bloody care enough.
I care a lot more than no bloody elected representatives, Grandad.
What do you mean by that?
Find out, Grandad.
There's compulsory purchase, you know.
Compulsory what? You threatening me?
I'm telling you the fact.
I'd have given you that land.
We shall take it off you. Choose what?
Hang on, Dad. This argument's getting a bit daft.
Argument? What argument? He just told me he'll take it off me. Choose what?
You know what he means.
I know
Sam.
what he bloody means. I ought to. I've had it all my bloody life, haven't I? Do this, do that. Don't do this or else. I'm saying to him what I'm saying to you. I'll be asked to do something, but I'll not be told by you or anybody else. If I want to do it, I'll do it when asked.
Amnala said so. He's a bloody Tory.
Look, if you want to get in that Parliament and my vote, take heed of what I say. I'll not have this waved at me. If you think you can make better use of me money, then take it. Ask me to work overtime on flat rate. I'll likely say no, but only ask me. Don't bloody tell me.
Not everybody's like you, Sam.
There's more like me than you think. They've been shoved around all their lives and they're sick of it. This control, that control. 5 years in the bloody army, years down the pit and no choice. Happen we'll do more than you think if asked, only ask us straight. And no bloody name calling me a bloody Tory. Ask straight, and none of this, eh?
And I've got to live with that.
Where are they going?
Just down the road.
There's twice as much traffic on there since petrol started to come back, you know. You tell him to keep hold of the little lad's hand.
Oh, David's not a fool, Dad, whatever else you might think of him. Can't you be a bit nicer to him?
Act as I feel. Always have done.
Yes, when you make that fairly obvious what you feel.
When's he going back?
Monday next week.
You with him?
They're back, they're here.
I asked you something. You didn't answer me.
I don't know the answer. But what are you looking for?
There's a red book. Got timber prices in it. Everything's going up, you know, everything.
Well, why don't you let me help you with the books?
It'd take more time to explain it than I'd say it.
I managed all right in the office that time.
These are my own records. I've got my own system. Nobody knows it but me.
Come in.
There he is. Come on,
There
dear
you
Grandad. There's a big lad there. I bet he wondered what I got to. Used to have me round you, aren't you, eh?
Oh, his hands are filthy.
What's he been doing?
Playing. Yeah, give him to me.
There we are.
Come on, Newson.
Have to learn how to behave, you know, young man.
Where have you been? Come on, let's get in there.
How's business, Arthur?
Could be damn sight better.
I thought things were on the upturn.
What with this bloody government? He tells me you're going back on Monday.
Yes.
What's so clever about Germany, then?
In what way?
That makes you like it better there than here.
My scholarships, then.
And who pays for it? Us or them?
County council.
That means me, I suppose.
In a way.
And what do I get out of it?
Better Anglo-German understanding, perhaps. You know, if it all works out as intended.
So I'm to pay to be taught to understand the Jerrys, is that it?
I'd have thought you'd have seen that as a good investment, Arthur. You know, if it helps to stop another war.
I understood the Jerrys very well before the last lot, thank you. Didn't stop it, did it? Churchill's your man, I kept on saying, but nobody listened, did they?
You were obviously in advance of your time, Arthur.
What time is it?
You may well ask. It's just after 3.
She's been looking for me.
It's your lucky day. She was gassing round at Hartley's. Came round, said she was late for your dinner and had I seen you.
What did you say?
Well, I said you'd been home, and she wasn't there, so I'd fed you and you'd gone off again, and I hope God forgives me.
Where have I gone?
A walk, I said.
Oh. You don't feel as if I've eaten.
Well, it's no use looking at me. I've neither the time nor the patience.
Come to the surface, George. Well, do you want a stool, these? Take them round with him.
Oh, just put them out in the passage. I'm off round to Ethel, see if she's got a use for these.
All right, right then.
What shall I tell her?
You can tell her I'm here. Fag?
No, thanks.
We nearly come out on strike this week.
Oh, what about?
Overman chucking his weight about. They're shoving a new cable belt on Main Road in Dollardays to take coal from all faces. And there'll be trouble there and all. They're going to pay us by volume instead of weight. Cubic feet and so on the nose.
Oh, well, as long as it works out the same.
A ton's a ton. It's what we've been used to. It's what we've always been paid by. Addy Weston says coal from our scene could come out different. Some of it so many cubic feet to a ton, and some of it more or less according.
Union will sort it out for you.
Oh, will they, though? Last strike we had were against Union, not bloody coal board. The local branch said one thing, and national officials in London said another. The devil's in London, you know.
They're all ex-colliers, aren't they?
If you get half a mile from pit gates, you'd think they'd never been through. And a bloody Labour government and all.
What's that got to do with it?
Well, we vote Labour, don't we? And what's this inflation, then? Is it this bloke Gateskill what's taking Cripps's job on?
It's the Korean War, George.
The what?
It's the Korean War that's caused inflation.
It's not to do with us.
Seems it is, whether we like it or not. We have to live in the world as it is, George, and it keeps on shrinking.
Bloody marvellous, isn't it?
Is it this bother at the pit that's been worrying you, then?
No. Well, in a roundabout way, happen. Not altogether, though. It's because I've been thinking, like.
Oh?
Aye. I've been thinking.
About what?
Oh, my life. Who knows?
Oh.
It'll be up to thee, won't it?
Me?
When they get in that parliament, it'll be up to thee. We've known not much about things like that round here. We shall depend on thee.
Sarah's gone to fetch Arthur. He's only down at the workshop.
Back for good?
To live in Galwick? Oh, good heavens, no. No, I'm just passing through. For the last time, probably. My father's dying. Yeah?
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
He's the last link. It's people bring you back to a place like this, isn't it?
Is it?
What else is there? Childhood memories, roots. We can live without those. I'm living proof.
Ah, yeah.
What do you think about Arthur?
He's going down the nick.
Aye.
Sarah worried about him.
She said much to you?
I've hardly seen her.
He doesn't like me much. Thinks I'm against him because I'm against the system. He lives up here. He's cut off from people. The system did that to him, but he'll never admit it. It's taken him apart from what matters most. I want a world where people matter to each other, not just to themselves.
You should take her back with you.
You asking me to practice what I preach?
She's getting sucked into his life, into caring for him. There's more to her life than to chuck it away on that.
You didn't know her when she was younger, did you? When I first met her, she was in her last year at Cuddy Girls High. You know, I used to wait for her a mile down the road. You know, I was old enough to be embarrassed by her wearing a gym slip carrying a school bag. And she came back to this. And I went back to Pretoria Street, 1,000 miles away. That's something else we never really got over, you know. Still, it's going now, since the war, don't you think?
I fancied a lass that lived in a big house up this way once. I used to walk past and wonder what it was like inside. If they spoke the same language, you know. It's like the first time you go into a big hotel. You keep thinking somebody's going to come up and ask you to leave. You look in the mirror, there you are, you're all right. But you can't help feeling your flies open.
Sam? Sarah wants you.
And I'll see you again.
A drinking brown cow, public bar.
Right.
I've got beer.
What, no scotch, Arthur?
Them bloody days are over, lad.
Surtax hitting you hard.
Oh, you can make fun. It's not funny when you work for it.
Well, I'm here.
Hey?
You asked me to come, I've come.
Oh, I can see who else is here, can't you?
Oh, give him a chance, Arthur.
You don't meet his obligations,
Well, you
know.
don't make it any easier for him, do you?
No, I've got bigger problems than him. I've heard that Hawkins have turned their noses up at that land the council offered them. That means they'll be coming to me again for that bit of mine. Only it's not worth tuppence to them unless they get yours as well.
Have they been to see you yet?
All right, yet, but they will. They're bound to. And I have to sell it, I've got to. You see, I have a chance of a contract that'll get me out of this mess, only I need a bit of capital. I can't get the credit like I used. You have been to the council, haven't they?
How would I know? Not on it, am I?
You got relatives that are.
All I know is Hawkins turned their nose up at this other lot. That's as I read it, anyhow.
You had another offer, haven't you?
Oh, it's nothing to do with that, Arthur. Something beyond you and me.
Go on then, put it down.
What down?
666.
Who says I've got a 666?
I know you bloody got it.
It could be on there, couldn't it?
It could be high, only it's not, is it?
How do you know?
Put it down and I'll tell you.
I'm playing for me. So put down what I want from what I've got here. I'm playing for me, not thee. So do as I think, shan't I?
You've no choice but to put it down.
Well, you know that and all, do you?
Aye, I know that now.
You'd be surprised if I put someone else that down then, wouldn't you?
Go on then, surprise me.
How can you play bloody dominoes with that thing squawking away?
Aye, well, it's going off now.
It's news.
Oh, is that what you always come round at this time for?
Ah, don't come round to watch that monstrosity.
Oh, well, that's all right then, isn't it?
Where was you wed?
Chapel.
What is it they say? If anybody knows just cause or impediment why these two should not lawfully be wed,
Never on his own since we got that thing. Who's coming tonight? I'll get seating worked out. We can have a back stalls and a flea pit.
Took me money away on somewhere else, have I? Bought it for you, you know.
No, I only meant it has its drawbacks.
Like that three-piece suite what we've just finished paying off for.
What's wrong with it?
You says there's something wrong with it, not me.
What?
Colour, ain't it? Wrong colour. Green we should have got, you said.
No. No, I changed my mind, that's all. No, I quite like it.
Then there's bedroom suite. There isn't a week passes, is there, without you saying, oh, I wish we'd waited and got somewhat better.
No, I quite like that, really.
Well, I'm glad you quite like it, Ethel. I'm very glad. I'm glad you quite like it, because it bloody well cost enough.
Look, what you going on at me for?
Then there's that dress you wore about 4 times.
What dress?
That you bought 3 years ago. 4 times you wore it. That's a quid a time at my reckoning, because it'll be dusters next, won't it?
You've got a nasty memory, George.
And kitchen lino doesn't suit, does it? We didn't pay enough for it. You don't get good value unless you pay a good price. By God, I wish we were back to flags and sawdust again, I do. Oh, and there's something else coming in there. It hasn't been mentioned yet, but it's on its way. Every time one comes on telly. Oh, I like that, George. I like that. Now, that's nice. That's nice, George. I'd like to have one like that. Well, I'll tell you something for sure. For sure, Ethel. We're not in that class, and we never will be. And you can dream for 100 years, but there's no bloody car coming out of my pocket.
George. What have I done to you, George?
You're a mate of his. You could talk to him.
What did he say to you?
There are other considerations. He'd think it over, he said.
Did he say what other considerations?
No, he didn't. What are they?
Oh, I'm just not at liberty, am I, Arthur?
No, I'm not at liberty either. I'm chained to the bloody facts of life. Look, if it's another offer he's had, would they want my bit as well?
But not at the price you're probably offered by Hawkins. There's not much capital available.
Where's David?
I don't know, love. I don't know where David is. You got your car with you?
Yes.
I can beg a lift to the cow then, can I?
Yes, yes, of course.
Oh, Morris.
Dave.
Do you want me to come and fetch you in the car?
I can walk. When I was your age, I walked 3 miles to work and 3 miles underground to the face. I did a day's work and then I walked back again. Now you can read all the books that have been written, but you'll never know that until you've done it.
I'll see you later, David.
Marriage seems to suit him, doesn't it?
Granny? Yes, that's what everyone says. Thank God he got rid of that thing he had about me.
Granny had.
You didn't know?
I hadn't a clue. How long was that going on?
Yes.
The poor old Granny.
Poor old Granny, my foot. He was the lucky one. It was you who got me.
Oh, Sarah, for God's sake. Stop running yourself down.
Well, that's how you make me feel, David. Like the bad end of a bargain.
Why? Why do I make you feel like that?
I'm not saying you mean to. It's just that we are as we are. We want different things from life.
Sarah. What do you want?
Permanence, most of all, I think.
You mean the same kitchen sink for the rest of your life?
No, I don't mean that. I mean to have people around me who I know and care about. To have some roots somewhere.
Here, in Galwick.
Perhaps.
You want roots in the past, then?
What's wrong with that?
We've all got them, whether we want them or not. When they keep you tied to a place, it's negative, Sarah.
Well, I must be a negative person, then. I'm negative and you're positive. Plus and minus. 2 into 3 won't go.
There will be nothing to keep me here soon.
I can't go back to that room, David. You're never there. And I should turn in on Tom and spoil him. What are we to do, then? You're the clever one.
Clever? What a bloody awful word, Sarah.
It's how I think of you. Clever. Bright. The bright boy, the one who made it. And yet you weren't bright enough to see that you should marry somebody who liked the things you liked and could talk to you as I never can. Somebody you were tied to by things you had in common and not by a difference in sex. What are you looking at me like that for?
Remember when I used to meet you outside school?
All the years you've wasted, hooked on love's young dream. Gone now, hasn't it?
For both of us. Yes?
Doesn't it make you angry? The waste?
Angry? No. Not angry. Sad. Knowing that you're looking at something. And knowing it's for the last time.
It's a government, is it?
As long as there's pits to be worked, as long as there's coal to be got, they're not going to let any industry in here that's going to take men away from the pits.
There's been rumours for a long time now that Cuddy will close.
Not this year, nor next. Perhaps Hawkins were banking on that and they found it's not on. You rarely get these things in writing, you know. Practical necessities can be political nightmares.
Can't tell me Grandad that. He's lived round here all his life. He cares about it. He thinks it's falling apart. If he thinks the government's turning against him, he'd be lost.
I'll give you a drink.
Ta.
I'm not going to try and get you K-lied so you'll sell us that land, you know. Now, let me take you, Doug. Now, we're an established industry. They'll let us expand because we shall be using skilled labour.
It's mainly the older end in pits nowadays. Too late for them to learn a new trade.
We'll be building for the next generation. We could offer you a job if you're interested.
A job?
Yes, you were a fitter, weren't you? And you're a marine engineer. We shall need someone to liaise with the factory in Warwickshire. Is Scotch all right?
Aye.
We should be moving their plant up here if it all works out. How does a 6-month stint in Warwickshire feel to you, eh?
I'm off back to sea.
Oh. Well, it was just a thought.
Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Your offspring's come to say good night.
Early to bed?
Late, not early. I'm behind with everything.
I'm sorry I've come at a bad time.
Oh, that's all right, Sam. It's a topsy-turvy house. It's any time.
Good night, Tick.
Say good night. Night to Sam. Won't be a minute.
You're not married, are you?
No, I'm not.
Oh, excuse me.
Hello, look
Hi,
who's
Jess.
here.
Morris.
Sam.
I'm just off.
Oh, aren't you staying for the party?
Well,
You'll be very welcome.
Yes, of course.
She's a smashing cook.
Not like his wife, he means.
No, I've something to say. Enjoy yourselves.
I'll come to the door with you.
Jessie.
Is that your old Timothy out there?
The same.
Do you remember when you used to take my dad around canvassing?
Aye, I remember. Hey, go in, you'll catch cold.
I'm okay. I was brought up rough like you.
I'm glad you're all right, Cass.
Yes. Yes, it's nice to be all right, isn't it? Peter needs that land, Sam. He wouldn't admit it to me, but I think there's a chance he might go bust if he doesn't get it. I won't say any more. Good night, Sam.
Good night.
You've not got it on.
No, I didn't like it. What was on? No, I didn't like it.
I'm drunk.
Are you?
I was drunk at dinner time and all. Took 3 bob out of club money. I should put it back.
Do you want it?
George, no. What is it? George, love, what is it, love?
It's a bloody middle store, Ethel.
What is love?
Life, Ethel.
George, there's no strike yet.
It's been on and off for 2 weeks now. It's made me think. It's done that if it's done naught else.
And think about what?
We've more going out than we've got coming in.
We can't have love.
We have, you know. I've done sums to prove it. Add 'em up, prove me wrong.
Is this what you've been scribbling at these last 2 weeks?
Add 'em up, you'll see. We've got more going out than we've got coming in.
No, we can't have love.
Add 'em up, go on.
Now, look, we've paid everybody, and you've given me the same, and you've taken your spends, haven't you?
No, I've not.
You've done without your spends?
Well, I've had to, haven't I? I've been any bloody spends. I've sat in here looking at that wooding.
About your sums?
About them and other things.
Well, what things?
I've worked out other things than them, I thought. Do you know what I've worked out? I've worked out what I've earned. What I've earned since I first went down pit 30 years ago. Over £6,000 I've earned.
£6,000?
All that money. Well, where's it gone? What have we done with it?
Well, we've lived, George, haven't we?
What you doing here?
What's it look as if I'm doing?
I'm off for a pint. Frank and Eileen gone?
They'll be back at Skeleton by now. She's coming over tomorrow, she said, ready for the move on Friday.
Where am I going to put this lot, eh?
You can store it in the side bedroom, can't you? It's not used for out now. Do you want to store this picture of your mother? Or will you be taking it with you?
I'm taking it with me.
When will you be going?
Next week sometime, happen.
Hey!
What about this land? I suppose you'll be leaving that for somebody else to settle.
I shall decide that before I go.
It'd be too much, I suppose, to ask your intention.
Would it be too much to ask you to trust me, Grandad?
Trust you?
You think I don't care about what happens round here, don't you? You put me in a class with Corby, don't you? You think I'm a bloody Tory that'll line his pockets at anybody's expense?
We need to know.
Well, you'll have to go on needing till I'm ready to make up my mind.
By the living daylights.
Make an effort, Grandad. Trust me. Trust me, eh?
There's others that have to live here when you've gone.
They can get out if they don't like it, can't they?
Can they? Can they? And where do I go, eh? And your Uncle George? Where does he go to swing his pick? We've been chained here all his lives. They've made us what we are to get the coal. And we've made us own chains too. We've chained ourselves to each other for care and for comfort. It's all we've got. We'd go naked into that world out there like bairns at birth without what we've made for each other. We've lived here and we'll bloody die here before we let them separate us from that. They say where there's muck, there's brass, don't they? Well, amongst the brass, there's a few specks of gold in men. I know it in them around me, them that has it. Your Uncle Frank, he's one. I wanted him to go away and all at one time, but he was wiser than me. He knew what it's taken me a lifetime to understand. That it's what you are to each other that counts. What you make of it. What you do. I used to bring your mother here when she was a lass. I'd tell her tales about how we'd turned them stacks to mountains. With grass and trees and little white houses for folks to live in. Tales, Jerusalem the golden, dreams. Summit that's in your head, to be made, set where you can see it with your eyes. There'll be nobody left soon to do it. To make of it what we wanted before it's too late. Before them bloody wolves come down from off them hills.
You want me to stay, don't you?